The major record labels say that downloading their music from the internet is stealing. But according to these people, making a mixtape for your friend is stealing too. So is making a tape of a radio show. When a rock band plays an AC/DC cover at a bar that doesn't pay ASCAP, that's stealing. When an MC rhymes over a sampled beat, that's stealing. Have you ever sung Happy Birthday to your friend at a restaurant? Watch out, Happy Birthday is copyrighted. So if you're singing in a public place, you'd better be paying royalties, or you'll be stealing music. Does all this stuff about stealing music sound absurd? Would you rather have a world where our music culture wasn't the intellectual property of 5 corporations? Then stop giving them your money. Don't pay for major label music, and make sure your friends and family don't either. Even better, burn them CDs of the music they like, so they won't even want to buy it. If we pull the plug on the major labels, music gets better.
KDK Frank Radio.
It doesn't.
Good luck, KDK.
A good Catholic is a Catholic in the model of Jesus Christ, a revolutionary, someone who's not afraid to get up and speak the truth. Remember, the only time Christ ever got angry was when he went to church.
You're a piece of shit. Once you realize you're a piece of shit, it's not so hard to take. Because then you don't have this feeling that you're a good person all the time. And let me tell you something. Feeling that you're a good person all the time is like having a brand new car with no scratches on it. It's a real responsibility which is almost impossible to live up to. Being a piece of shit and then occasionally doing something that's good and true, it's a much easier place to be.
There are no gods, no devils, no angels, no heaven or hell. There is only our natural world. Religion is but myth and superstition that hardens hearts and enslaves minds.
You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to
KK's Lunatic Fringe.
All systems go! Prepare for countdown! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off to adventure in the amazing year 400 billion!
The dead have highways. Highways that lead to intersections. And intersections that spill into our world. And if you find yourself at one of those intersections, you should stop and you should listen, because the dead have stories to tell.
My grandma fell off of the rooftop. Oh, Granny, you've got some bad luck. But oh, what she said when she fell on her head. She yelled out an ear-splitting, follow Jesus, have faith in the Lord, praise His name and receive your reward.
And welcome to KDK's Lunatic Fringe. I was expecting to start late tonight because I was supposed to be at a family function until 10 p.m. tonight, so I knew it would be like almost an hour drive home, so I knew I would be late, even if I rushed home and came immediately on the air. But it all started this morning at 9 a.m. I woke up and, of course, me doing everything last minute like I always do. I used MapQuest to get directions to where I needed to be in Croton Falls, New York, which isn't really that far. It's only like a half hour, 45 minutes away. And the address that I was given, and the reason why I had to be there is because it's for the first Holy Communion of my niece, Taylor. And so I go to MapQuest and I type in the address, and it turns out that there is no such address. The invitation went out with like the wrong number on the address. It said 14. The closest proximity I could find was number 10. So I figured, well, number 10 will work because number 14 is only got to be 2 doors down, right? And the directions were all fucked up. I hate MapQuest. I ended up driving around for like an hour and a half trying to find this fucking place, and never did. So my sister's all pissed off at me that I never made it, and of course she thinks that I was just like blowing her off and didn't want to come in the first place. Oh, my phone is ringing. Let me see who that is. Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Oh, nothing. Just sitting here playing video games.
I'm still on out, but I'm like literally out the car, so is it too late?
No, not at all.
Okay, alright, I'll really go in like 5 minutes. I'll be there.
Okay, later.
Please?
Okay, so back to my story. So I never made it to this function, but during the day I got a call, somebody, a hookup, the guy you just heard on my phone there, wanted to hook up tonight. He said he would give me a call around 9:30 when he was getting out of work. Of course, he's late calling me back because he got stuck late at work. So now, see, I knew I shouldn't have gone on the air tonight, because now I'm going to have to put the show on hold so I can go get laid and then come back, because he totally won't want to hook up if he won't want to do the show with me. I know that. I know this already. He's too paranoid and freaky about like being on the air. He doesn't get that there's only like 10 people listening. He thinks that there's like thousands of people, and I'm going to out him on the air and ruin his life or whatever. Been there, done that. But anyway, yeah, I never made it to the first Holy Communion today. So instead, I set up a hookup, because I had already said last night on the forums at kdkprankcalls.com that I was going to be late tonight. So 9:30 sounded good. That gives us like an hour and a half, and it gives me a good excuse to like shove him out the door like once we're done, rather than like hanging out for hours on end, right? Because that's the kind of guy I am. I don't like to cuddle. So I made plans for this hookup, and you noticed just now I didn't break them. He's on his way here. He'll probably be here in like 10 or 15 minutes. And I have the door open. If he hears me like talking and like being on the air, he'll probably just leave. So I don't want to ruin my hookup. I gotta get laid, you fuck. So I guess I'm going to, you know, I have a punk playlist that I can just start up the playlist and play it and then come back. So let's pretend that I never went on the air yet. Let's pretend the show hasn't begun yet. I'll stop my, I guess I'll, should I stop my encoders and stop broadcasting? Or can everybody in the chat room just inform everyone else that I'll be coming back like once I'm done getting laid? Can you guys do that for me? Do me a solid like that? I promise I will come back, though. I might be like sweaty and out of breath, but I'll come back. I'll come back. Maybe all tired after dropping a load. Nunu says, oh, someone to bum. Yes, you're exactly right. Someone to bum. So I'm looking at this invitation here, and I'm not entirely to blame, because if my sister were to go to MapQuest, and she's already pissed off because she called me like after the church service was over, and she was angry with me. She says, you've been to this church before. And I have been to the church before. I went to the church once 10 years ago when she got married. And I'm expected to remember that. Besides, at that time, I didn't even get there on my own. I met her at her house and followed her over. So it's not like I'm memorizing all the roads and had like printed directions or anything. I just followed her from her house because I know it's not far from her house. It's probably within 10 minutes of her house. But still, for the life of me, I couldn't remember how to get there. Aside from the fact I was sort of angry and resentful over the fact that I was invited to a Roman Catholic service. She knows I'm an agnostic. I would never invite my sister to like some kind of gay pride function I went to. Nunus is asking him if he fancies a bum. Of course he fancies a bum. That's why he's coming over. So I was a little angry and bitter in the first place, and I wish people wouldn't invite me to religious services. Not that I don't like them, but I don't like religious services. I sit there and the whole while I'm just pissed off because, especially Roman Catholic services, because it's like stand up, kneel, pray, chant, sing, kneel, pray. I don't know the prayers, I don't know the songs. Everybody else seems like they have some kind of like mental bond going on because they know all this bullshit, because they go to church every week. I haven't been to church probably since the last communion I had to go to, which was several years ago. The only reason why I sort of wanted to go is because my brother-in-law is loaded, and I knew that the reception would be like a 3-course gourmet meal, and I would get to critique it, and it would have been the best meal I had today. Instead, all I've eaten today is a bowl of Raisin Bran, but there you go. So my hookup is on the way. That means I'm going to have to, like, go to music. Should I go to music or just let it go back? I think if I let it go back to rotation, people are going to assume that I'm not showing up. But I will be back. I will be back. I promise you that much. I will be back. But I'm going to have to go dark. Well, not go dark, but I'm going to have to, let me see if I can find my playlist. Where's my punk rock playlist? My punk rock playlist. Where the hell did I put it? Oh man, my shit is in such disarray. I promise I will come back. As you can hear, I'm sober and I'm in the mood to do some pranks. Otherwise, I would have just blown off the show completely. But I'm here nonetheless, and I'm gonna be back after this musical interlude, this extended musical interlude. I'll see you in about, like, a couple hours, depending on how well it goes. You can chill in the chat room and talk about what a douchebag I am, that I'm blowing the show off to get laid. You can go to kdkprankcalls.com and click on the chat link. That will bring you to the chat room. It's a Java chat. It's not IRC. There might be a retarded IRC way to get in there and use the chat, but I don't know of it. So, yeah. Anyway, last week, as you heard on the air, we tested some soundboard prank calls. So hopefully tonight, you guys will go to the chat room, send me your confirmed names, numbers, and ideas, or you can send them to me through AIM, KDKPRANKS, KDK Pranks on AIM. You can send them that way too, and I'll come back and I'll do some prank calls. I'd like to prank call some businesses tonight. I'd like to do some UK wake-up calls, and I'd like to do some soundboard calls, since I figured out last week, with the help of Pedge, that my soundboards do indeed, my sounds do go out over the phone when I play them on my PC if I'm using Skype. So we have that to look forward to tonight. It'll be a fun night, I promise, and I'll be back. I usually say very shortly, but this time it won't be very shortly. I'll be back in several hours. Probably. See you at midnight. I'll be back eventually. Would you like to talk for several moments? Okay, it's KDK, and now I guess we can officially start the program. About like 2 hours and 15 minutes late, but that's okay. It's not like anybody here paid for any of this. Anyway. Take it off? You know how to see yourself out? Okay. So, if anybody, during this entire 2 hours and 15 minutes, nobody sent me a single phone number. So now, rather than, like, me being able to jump immediately into the prank calls, now I gotta wait and make sure that people are listening, and I have some numbers to call, and I'm raring to go. Let me open up my Skype. I'll open up Skype so that I can make my pranks. And it's late now, so it's 5 in the morning in the UK, so if you have a UK wake-up number, feel free to send that to me, and I'm more than happy to wake people up in the UK. That's one of my great joys in life. That's one of the things I live for. Just waking people up, because they're always so polite. Even though I'm so aggravating. Have a good night. Okay, that was the sound of my hookup leaving. Sorry that took so long, but what can I say? My sexual prowess knows no bounds. That was like 2 hours. And of course I'm out of breath. I haven't taken a shower, so I'm smelly. I am dressed again, though. I'm wearing a pair of comfy pants and nothing else. No underwear, no shirt. So yeah, I'm going to go back to the chat room and see if anybody is still here. Did anybody hang in during that, probably the longest extended break I've ever taken in the history of the program? Well, looks like there's still a bunch of people hanging out in the chat room. We got Two-Ton Lord and Brandon Vegas and Kokanee and Lonesome Loser, Mr. Blonde, MST3 Clay, Nunu, No Bullshit, and Saigon. Yeah, they're probably all asleep. Well, how could you fall asleep during that music that I was playing? That was so loud. And Nunu says, "Can we have a show, please? Stop bumming." When did that come in? That came in like 20 minutes ago. Okay, Lonesome Loser looks like he's sending me numbers right away already, which is good because I don't really have time to stall tonight because I'm starting so late already as it is. So if anybody else has any names, numbers, or ideas for people whom you would like me to call tonight, feel free to send them to me on AIM at KDK Pranks, KDKPRANKS, or join us in the chat room at kdkprankcalls.com. Click on the link for the chat room, and you'll find me hanging out in there. You can double-click on me, private message me, whomever you would like me to call, and yeah, that would be swell. That would be splendid. That would be splendiferous and magnificent, and all other such gay words to those effects. So I'm going to stall again for several moments to give you guys time to get numbers coming in, and I promise this is going to be a really short break now because I have to pee because there's probably nothing to it, but I have this weird paranoia that if I don't pee after I come, I'm afraid that like there'll be some like residual cum in the penis shaft that's gonna like harden and solidify like Elmer's glue, and then I won't be able to pee no more. So I'm gonna go rinse out my urethra by taking a pee.
That our few remaining friends give up on trying to save us. I hope we come up with a fail-safe plot to piss off the dumb few that forgave us. I hope the fences we mended fall down beneath their own weight, and I hope we hang on past the last exit. I hope it's already too late, and I hope the junkyard a few blocks from here someday burns down, and I hope the rising black smoke carries me far away, and I never come back to this town again. In my life, I hope I lie and tell everyone you were a good wife, and I hope you die. I hope we both die. I cut myself shaving tomorrow. I hope it bleeds all day long. Our friends say it's darkest before the sun rises. We're pretty sure they're all wrong. I hope it stays dark forever. I hope the worst isn't over. And I hope you blink before I do. And I hope I never get sober. And I hope when you think of me years down the line, you can't find one good thing to say. And I'd hope that if I found the strength to walk out, you'd stay the hell out of my way. I am drowning. There is no sign of land. You are coming down with me, hand in unlovable hand, and I hope you die. I hope we both die.
And I'm back, and you caught me about to pour myself a soda. Tonight's program is brought to us by Diet Coke with lime. And I'm going to get right to the prank calls in several moments here. The Lonesome Loser has the following numbers coming in. We have Bonnie Golan, a guy answered. Bobby Pike has the crappy anonymous call rejection where you just have to enter a random phone number to ring through. An old woman answered. Aletha Snyder, an old woman. Alvin Snyder has the same crappy call rejection. This one says Shoals Lynn, although Lynn seems like it ought to be the first name, but Shoals Lynn, a woman. Richard Openshaw, an older guy answered, and Lester Opal, an old guy answered. So that's what we got to go on. So I guess I'll start from the top of the list. I have no idea what to say now. But I'm going to try. Here we go. Let me get my call shit activated. The first victim is Bonnie Golan. Bonnie Golan. I feel like all out of it now because I'm like winded. I just had like a 2-hour workout and I feel like I just need to go to sleep.
Hello.
Hello, is Bonnie there, please?
She's probably asleep. Who can I say is calling?
This is Ed Rosenthal. How are you doing, love?
Good.
Is this her son?
Son-in-law, yes.
Okay, wonderful. So she's in bed right now already?
Yeah, most likely.
Well, I was supposed to get back to her because she had let me borrow some medications. Apparently she and I were on the same medications. We got to talking and about our medications. As we old people do, we like to compare what we take. You know what I mean? And my prescription had run out, but she spotted me a few, and I was just looking to pay her back. That's all. But I guess I can wait until tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Well, I can let her know that you called.
Well, I'll just try back tomorrow. Because I was also hoping to ask her to sort of a date to come with me to church tomorrow. But I guess that's not meant to be. Maybe next week.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
I was hoping I was going to push a button with that church thing because I was hoping she was married and he would get pissed off and he'd be like, what do you mean? She was already married. Have a date to go to church.
The number you are calling does not accept unidentified calls. If you are a solicitor, please hang up now. Otherwise, please enter the 10-digit telephone number you are calling from.
Hello.
Hello, Bonnie. How are you doing, dear? It's me. It's Ed. I'm sorry. I know you told me to call early, but you also said that you're a night owl and you stay up late like me.
And who are you?
It's Ed Rosenthal, of course. How are you doing, dear?
I have no idea who you are, sir.
You're Bobby Pike from Des Moines, right? I'm also in Des Moines, and I met you down at the Piggly Wiggly.
Down where?
The Piggly Wiggly?
I don't think so, sir.
Or maybe it was the Publix. I forget, because I'm old too, you know.
Yeah, I don't know who you are, sir. Sorry.
Well, maybe if I sang you the song that I sang to you when I met you, maybe it would help jog your memory. Bobby, Bobby, give me your answer due. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage. But together we'll be happy, you'll see, on a bicycle built for two. See, now you remember me, don't you?
No, not really, I'm sorry.
Who else have you ever known romantic enough to sing to you?
I don't know, sir.
So, Bobby, tell me what you're wearing right now. She let me get through the whole song and then hangs up on what are you wearing. Okay, next on the list. I'm like blowing through these real fast, so I hope somebody else is going to send numbers. Otherwise, we got like a half-hour show here, and then I guess I'm free to go play Grand Theft Auto or something. I started playing Grand Theft Auto again. I had already played it and gotten to the final mission that I got stuck on. And then I started the game over again because Sony, after the game was released, like months and months after it was released, they instituted trophies, which is sort of like achievements on the 360. But you had to start the game over to earn any of those trophies. So I started the game over, and now I'm like pissed off that I'm getting stuck on missions that I've already beaten before. And I know once again I'm going to get to that final mission and get stuck and never be able to beat the game.
The number you are calling does not accept unidentified calls. If you are a solicitor, please hang up now. Otherwise, please enter the 10-digit telephone number you are calling from.
If you're wondering what number I'm dialing, it's 867-5309.
Hello?
Hello?
Who is this?
It's me, Margaret. How are you doing?
Who is this? I'm sorry?
It's Gladys.
I think you may have the wrong number.
Oh, God.
What number did you want?
How are you doing?
Who do you think this is?
Margaret. It's me.
I'm sorry. You have the wrong number.
Shut up. It's me. Hello. My name's Gladys.
I'm sorry. You have the wrong number. I'm going to hang up now.
Are you calling me crazy?
And that was sort of a surprise soundboard call right there. And let me see who's next on the list. I like how I can mix it up in like soundboards now, but unfortunately there's so few soundboards that I know well enough to be able to make a prank call with. That's pretty much the only one I know well enough. I could do Kevin's Mama. I could try to do Kevin's Mama, but that one, I don't know if that one has good enough sound quality or good enough sounds to be able to carry off a prank call, but I can try. Let me open up the Kevin's Mama soundboard. We'll try a Kevin's Mama call. Kevin's Mama. Kevin's crazy one-legged white trash mama.
That's where you're going.
I can call and threaten to call the cops on people.
I'll send the police down there, that's all.
Okay, we got, who's next on the list? I called up Aletha already. I called up Alvin. Lynn Scholes, or Scholes Lynn, I'm not sure.
Hello?
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 Hello? I want to know where my son is.
Hello?
Hello?
Who is this?
Let me talk to Dave. Let me talk to Dave right now. Hello? This is your mother. Hello? I want to know where my son is.
She was confused. See, I don't think that soundboard has enough sounds to really be able to carry out like a good prank call with that one. Let me, maybe if I familiarize myself with it a little. Let me go back to Kevin's Mama. Oh, wrong window. Where's the window I want? There we go.
We're going to take everything that you really like, and you will not get it back. Answer the phone.
She apparently understood what was being said, even though the sound quality is so bad. Should I call her? I'm going to call her back with the same soundboard and see what happens. Or maybe Gladys and Kevin's Mom are both going to gang up on her. I have them both open, so I could do both at the same time.
What's up?
Hello?
Hello?
It's me.
How can I help you?
It's Gladys. How are you?
I'm short.
This number's on my caller ID.
That doesn't live here.
This number's on my caller ID.
I don't know who you are, but you need to quit calling us because we're trying to go to bed.
You lying son of a bitch. I received a call.
Oh man. Okay, enough with the soundboards. Let me put my soundboards away. I gotta study and learn a good soundboard so that I can do some live soundboard prank calls. Apparently I'm not up to the task quite yet. Next person on the list. I'm running out of numbers quickly here.
Hello?
Hello, is this Mr. Openshaw?
Yes?
This is Ethel Myrtle Rosenthal. How are you doing, dear?
Who are you?
My name is Ethel Rosenthal, and I'm sitting here with my friend Gladys. She says that
you're calling this time of night.
She said, well, that's why I'm calling. She says you have been, or someone from this number has been calling here all night.
This number's on my caller ID.
It wasn't this number.
I have her on the line. She can hear you. Gladys?
This number's on my caller ID.
Right. That's how we got the number.
Okay, that's it. Let me close out the soundboards because I'm too tempted to go back to them. I'm going to call the same guy back again. Much too late to call him back. Twice.
Hello?
Hello, Richard. Is that you? You just hung up on my wife after calling here all night?
Yeah, I did.
Someone was calling from there all night. And
well, it wasn't from here.
We just dialed the star 69 just to dial the last number that called us. You know how that works?
No, I don't, and I don't really care.
Listen, someone was calling from that number. Asking
Nobody
my wife,
called from this number anywhere.
Well, I'm going to bring this evidence to the police. You can deny it all you want, but someone there...
Well, what's it about?
Someone was calling, making lewd comments to my wife, asking what she was wearing and how short her housecoat was.
I can guarantee it wasn't from here.
Well, is there anyone else there with you who may have been using the phone?
I don't know who it was or where it was, but nobody called from this number because I've been here all night.
And you're the only one there?
Huh?
And you're the only one there? Hello? Hello?
I don't think he hung up. I think his shitty phone just died there. He was getting like all sort of static and interference there. Yeah, I can't even get mad at him for hanging up on me. I think that was just like a dropped call. That might have been a cell phone or something, or like the world's worst cordless. Call people in the UK and get some salt, or ask them if that wife of theirs is still a whore. That's what Nunu wants me to do. Okay. Is she still doing that hoeing? I could do that, I guess. Next on the list is Lester Opal. Lester Opal. Lester is like an old guy sounding name. I can't imagine like young people naming their kids Lester nowadays, but you never know.
Hello.
Hello, is this Lester Opal, please?
Yes, speaking.
Hello, this is Mr. Rosenthal, calling here from Nampa, Indiana.
Uh-huh.
Before we shut your cable off, I was trying to give you one last opportunity to pay the bill.
Oh, okay.
Okay, would you like to pay the bill now so that you can stop us from interrupting your service? And for a little extra charge, you can stop us from calling you so late anymore as well. For an extra $5 a month, we will only call between the hours of 8 and 5. 8 in the morning to 5 o'clock at night. I love trying to shake people down to get us to stop harassing them. Nothing's going anywhere tonight. I'm rushing too much, perhaps. I'm trying to make up for lost time for the fact that I started so late tonight by rushing through, so maybe I need to step back and take a breather and calm my ass down. I'm like very hyper now because I'm on like these new fat burners that like get me all wired. You know, the ones that probably like kill your kidneys.
Not the ones that they just told everybody not to use anymore. What were those called? Hydroxycut? Yeah, Hydroxycut supposedly is going to kill you. I use like a generic brand that like gets me wired like Cornholio after he's had a Monster Energy drink or something. Anyway, listen to this, and I'll be back very shortly. Very shortly.
Hello?
Hello, is that Betty Porter then? How are you doing?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
This is Mr.
Who is this?
Hello, I'm with the Northamptonshire Town Council, and we're calling everyone to try to collect salt, because we don't want a repeat of what we had earlier this season for next year. So we're starting early. You know, the early bird gets the worm.
Yeah.
So we're asking everybody to contribute some salt that we can use for the roadways, should we have another year like last.
What?
And I'm sorry to be calling you so early, but we've enlisted the fire department to come around and collect all the salt, and this is the only time they had to help us out, dear.
Yeah.
So you might be angry now, but you'll be happy come winter.
Well, really, it does. Well, I suppose it does affect me in a way, but I don't go out on the roads myself. You know, I don't drive.
You don't drive?
No.
Well, we use the salt for the walkways as well, for the sidewalks. You ever go out you don't want to go out for a walk and slip and break a hip at your age, right?
No, of course not. Yes, what a funny time to ring people.
Well, I
so early in the morning.
We're relying upon the kindness of the fire brigade. They're going around to collect the salt that we're getting from everyone. And we were trying to hope to get people before they went off to church.
Mm.
So, your neighbour at number 24 has donated a pound of salt. So can you match that? Can you donate a pound of salt for us?
Oh. Yeah, what do I have to do?
Well, you just have the salt at the ready, and someone will be around with a fire truck to come collect your salt. We'll keep it in a big stockpile, and that way we need not worry about running out.
All right, then I'll match that.
Okay, wonderful. You're beautiful, dear.
Yeah.
Someone will be around within the hour.
Pardon?
Someone will be around within the hour. The fireman, you know.
Yeah.
He'll be around within the hour. He'll be going through your neighbourhood.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your donation. Your kindness will help it's for the greater good. That's what I mean to say.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, dear.
Goodbye.
Bye. What a nice lady. Now she's going to stay up for an hour, waiting with salt by her door. I imagine her sitting there, decrepit old lady, sitting on a stool with a pound of salt. Who the hell has a pound of salt on hand anyway? I don't have a pound of salt. I probably got one of those like 8-ounce containers that's half empty. I can give you 4 ounces of salt. That's a quarter pound. That's the best I can do for you. Okay. So we got some salt from Betty Porter. Betty, very nice old lady. Even though I made like a rude comment about her age there, she didn't quite catch, I guess. 770510. Next person on the list is Janetta? Yeah, Janetta Porter.
Double 70510.
Hello, Janetta.
Yes?
Is you still doing that hoeing?
Pardon?
Is you still doing that hoeing?
Is that 24?
If so, how much? 24 pence? Wow, what a bargain. Is that what you said? If that's the case, I'll be around within the hour. My name is Ed Rosenthal, calling right here in Northamptonshire. Janetta?
I think you've got the wrong person.
Well, I asked, are you still doing that hoeing? You said 24 pence, so I say we've got a deal. Sounds like a deal to me.
I think you've got the wrong person.
Is this Janetta?
Yes.
You're on Tilbury?
Yes?
So, sounds like I have the right person. Listen, the reason why I'm calling is because we need you to donate some salt, so that we don't run out again like last year. And then while I'm there, if you're still doing that hoeing, for £24 you can't go wrong. There you go, Nunu. I hope you're happy I got them both in on one call. And how do you say it in England, so that I have an authentic accent? Would it be Northamptonshire or Northamptonshire? I'm not sure. Okay, let me dial the next number here.
Hello?
Hello, I was calling for Bernie.
I beg your pardon?
Well, we call him Bernie, but you may know him as Bernard. Mr. Coleman.
Look, I don't expect calls here at 6 o'clock in the morning.
But Bernard does. He told me to call. He said call early. We're going fishing today. Hello. I'm going to call her back because she was angry. I like a good angry person. I love how I'm calling from 3,000 miles away just to wake you up and be stupid. I like to be stupid.
Hello?
Hello, Bernie. How are you doing, dear?
Who's it calling?
I was calling for Bernie. This is Ed Rosenthal.
Look, you've got the wrong number.
Is this not the home of Bernard Coleman? Because this is the number he gave me.
Yes, but who's that calling?
Ed Rosenthal. He said call early Sunday because I invited him out fishing on my yacht, a private yacht. He said I'd love to go, but the old lady doesn't let me out much.
Bernard Coleman is ill and is not interested in fishing.
Oh dear, when did he take ill? When I saw him, he still looked so young and vibrant and healthy.
So I don't know who you've got middled up with, but it's not here.
We've had plans for 2 months here, for May 10th, to get together and do some fishing.
It doesn't want... He's not interested in fishing.
Well, what's wrong with him? I'm a long-time friend and I'm concerned now.
No, you do not know him.
Of course
I've been his wife. I've been a wife from 50, nearly 60 years.
He and I used to drink at the pub.
Where?
Right here in Northamptonshire. Different places. All over. I'd see him around and we'd get to talking because we're of similar age. We talk about the old days and...
No, I'm sorry, you've just got the wrong person.
Now I'm concerned, both about...
No, look, you are not. And I'm going to put this phone down and I'm going to report it.
I'm concerned that you're holding Bernie prisoner, not letting him use the
Don't say it's a bloody silly.
What? You're the one holding an elderly man prisoner. She's holding poor Bernie prisoner. She won't let him answer the phone. She's making all his decisions for him, won't let him go fishing. I was hoping we could catch a marlin together. Okay, next person on the list is Dick Coleman. Dick Coleman, everyone. Dick Coleman here with you.
Hello?
Hello. Richard, is that you?
Yeah.
Might I call you Dick?
Who are you?
This is Ed Rosenthal from Northamptonshire. How are you doing, dear?
It's 5:30 in the morning.
Right. I'm sorry to call so early, but this is the only opportunity we had. We're calling everyone here in Northamptonshire, trying to gather salt from everyone, so that we don't have a repeat of last year.
What are you talking about?
All summer long, we're going to be accepting donations of salt. This morning, we've enlisted help... Oof! Didn't even let me get my story out. Okay, let me pick up on Brandon Vegas, see if this works here. Hello? Apparently he hung up already. Oh, sorry, Brandon. If anybody would like to call in, I believe you find me on Skype as KDK Pranks. KDK PRANKS. That's how you find me. If anybody wants to call into the program, that's how we do it now. Because we're all high-tech and shit. Right.
In the meantime, I forgot to play my theme music. I had picked out some theme music for UK wake-up calls that I'll hopefully remember from now on to play, like when I'm beginning doing UK wake-up calls. But I'll play it now. It's from a punk band called Unite Against Society, and the song is called England Belongs to Me. All their bass are belong to me. How much I wish I could do that British accent. Like something so sloppy and thick like that. I wish I could do that. I think the British voice that I do sounds like a little more hoi polloi, like a little more high society. But I wish I could do like that's basically like the British accent equivalent of like a southerner, like a redneck or something, from what I understand.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me, dear?
Oh, good, it is working.
Oh, this is the first time I've actually taken a Skype call on the air. It looks like it sounds fine.
Yeah, I finally have broadband so I can actually use Skype.
You're a little loud, so for next time I'll remember to turn my inbound down. But other than that, how are you doing? This is Brandon Vegas, everybody calling in. How are you doing tonight?
Pretty good, then I'll turn my volume down myself.
I noticed you were a little pissed off earlier that I put the show on hold. I'm trying to think of the direct quote. It's nice to see that KDK cares about his listeners and his program.
I didn't say that.
Who said that? Was that Mr. Blonde? Yeah, that might have been Mr. Blonde. Somebody said that.
Well, I was in and out of the room the whole time talking on the phone to people. I forgot it was even Saturday night. I had to go get the modem from downstairs and bring it up here.
Just to listen to us.
Yep.
Oh, Skype booted me. Hang on a second. Let me kick the stream and get back in here. Oh, boy. Okay, maybe I found a glitch with Skype.
I notice even if you set it to not adjust your settings, it still adjusts your settings anyway sometimes.
Okay, we're back. Apparently when I answered the call, Skype, maybe I have the settings set too high, but I got like crazy high bandwidth. That shouldn't be an issue. I don't have any torrents open or anything. But I'm back now. That's the important part. So, Brandon Vegas, how have you been, man? What have you been up to?
Not much. I just moved back to Fargo, North Dakota. I'm not in Vegas anymore.
So you're Brandon Fargo.
I'm not changing my name.
That does sound kind of cool, Brandon Fargo. That does sound cool. So does North Dakota suck or what?
Yeah, it always sucks here, but I'm just still going to keep my name. Everybody knows me as Brandon Vegas on the internet, so I'm not going to go Brandon Fargo or what the hell does that mean?
It does sound cool, though. Somebody else will steal Brandon Fargo and pretend to be you. And say all sorts of gay things or whatever. That's what they do to me. Like, every time I hear about a new service like Facebook or Twitter, I have to, like, to rush in there and try to register my name before somebody, like, blackout registers it and says, I'm gay, woo! Like, sends out Twitter saying, I'm taking a cock in my ass right now. Or something dumb like that, you know?
I did that on Twitter, too. I think I made one update, like, 3 months ago.
I know, I hate Twitter, but there you go. There's so many. If I had a lot of people following me, then it would be a useful tool, I guess, to remind people. Like you said, you forgot that it was Saturday and that was on tonight, so it would have been useful to you. So yeah, I guess it is a useful tool, but I'm old, so I'm afraid of technology. Twitter's gonna steal my pills.
Well, even Stern's starting to use Twitter, and he thinks it's stupid.
It is stupid, and he is like hella old. He's like crazy old. How old
He's
is
like
Stern now? He's like fucking
the same age as my dad.
How old?
55.
That's it?
Yeah,
what do you think? Do you think he wears a wig or he dyes his hair?
Well, he has to be dyeing his hair at this point.
He claims no. He claims he has a couple of grays. I'm 38 years old and I have grays. I don't believe somebody 55 has no grays.
And my dad uses that just for men shit.
Does he?
It looks funny, he's all gray right now, and then he appeared out of the bathroom yesterday with brown hair again. I was like, oh yeah, you're really fooling people.
Yeah. My dad used to use Grecian formula, I guess, because it slowly changes the color of your hair. Like, it's a rinse you use every day, and it slowly, like, it takes it down a shade, like, every day as you use it. So it's supposed to be, like, more gradual, so people don't notice. More natural. Right. But he also had a receding hairline, so what was the point? Towards the end, Dad had a comb over. They say when you judge your hair, you're supposed to go by your mom's dad. Like, that's where you supposedly get your hair gene from. And my mom's dad had a full head of gray hair, which seems to be the way I'm going, because I'm 38 and I got gray hair. And I decided really early on, even if I go bald, I'm not doing anything about it. I'm not doing the comb over. I'm not going to get a weave. I'm not going to do any kind of hair transplants or anything. If I'm bald, I'm fucking bald. Who cares? Maybe I'll be one of those bald guys that always wears a baseball cap. There's this one bald guy I know that always wears like a captain's hat. So he's known around town as like the captain, even though he's not. But he just wears like a captain's hat, like Captain Stooping. And actually, that guy, I read about him in the paper because he ran somebody over in like the parking lot of the supermarket here in town, like the one I prank all the time. No, there was some lady like pushing a cart to her car while he was going by, and he slammed into her and her cart. Then the groceries went flying, and he knocked her down, and the cart hit her. But they didn't take his license away, so I guess he wasn't drunk. I always had him pegged like a drunk, but I guess he wasn't. But anyway, so yeah, I don't expect to ever go bald, or if I do go bald, it won't be till I'm like very, very old. But I do expect to go gray early, and I already am, and I'm not going to do anything about it, because gray doesn't necessarily make people unattractive, because I think Anderson Cooper's hot, and he's got fully gray hair.
I guess so. It kind of has a salt and pepper thing going on.
No, he's like fully gray, man. He's like Steve Martin gray. But he's not attractive for an old... He's not even that old. He just went gray early. But, yeah. I don't lose sleep over dumb stuff like that. Besides, I could always, like, dye it blue or something, and that way I won't have to bleach it first.
Yeah.
I did try that once. I tried, like, a year ago. I figure I dyed my hair blue. But my hair is so dark that you can't really see the blue, but I was hoping, like, the gray. I was hoping, like, the blue highlights would show up in the gray. But it didn't. It just, like, looked all brown because, like, my hair is so dark anyway, it just, like, blends in, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the bald spots starting to go here on my back of my head. I don't really give a shit, though.
You're not old enough to have a... How old are you?
27 is just starting to go, though. It's starting to show up, though.
Oh, that sucks. I went to high school with a guy who started going bald at 18.
But yeah, my stepdad did that.
I think that was because he was morbidly obese. I have a theory that if you're really fat, it clogs your hair follicles, and you go bald early.
Yeah, maybe.
Because if you look around, like, most fat people you see are, like, balder than comparable fit people their own age.
Yeah.
Right? So what kind of, before you were in construction, when you were in Vegas, so what kind of line of work are you in now?
Well, I just moved here a couple of days ago, and I applied to work in the back room at Target, like unloading trucks and shit.
Well, that's not so bad, because at least you don't have to deal with assholey customers.
Yeah, and I'm in the back, so I can get some exercise still.
Yeah, there you go. Some heavy lifting and shit. It's good exercise.
Yeah, construction sucks.
Do yourself a favor and take some of those metabolic boosters, so that as you work, you get a better workout.
Yeah, maybe I'll get doing some.
How's your health anyway? You still chubby?
Yeah, I'm like down to 200 now, so I lost about 30 pounds.
That's awesome.
I don't know how I lost it, but
it is
skipped a couple meals, I guess.
Losing weight is the hardest thing to do. Compared to losing weight, quitting smoking or quitting drinking, quitting doing drugs, everything is easy because there's nothing else in the world that you still have to do in moderation in order to live. You know, like if you're a heroin junkie, you don't have to do still a little bit of heroin just to live. But with food, obviously you still have to eat a little bit just to live. Food is the hardest addiction to break. I'm down to 165, thankfully. My goal is around 150. Like, around a little over a year ago, around this time, I was about 150, but I gained like fucking 30 pounds on my fat, lazy ass while I was not working, just sitting around and playing video games all goddamn fucking day. Not getting any exercise. But anyway, Brandon, would you be interested in, like, doing pranks with us next week? Not right now, but one week I'd like to set up, like, a conference and have people call in and make pranks with us and, you know, have fun.
I could give it a shot. Usually my pranks are horrible, which is why I really don't do them, but give it a shot anyway, get other people involved.
Well, I suck sometimes too. Everybody, well, a lot of people would say I suck all the time, so there you go. You know, practice makes perfect, just like anything else, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, so I'll look into that. Maybe during the week I'll see if I can test a conference line and see how it works, because I've never done it before and I don't want to try it for the first time on the air because that'll end up being a clusterfuck probably, but... Okay, so I'll contact
I'll remember to sign in with Skype. We can try it during the week too or something. Maybe I can get my girlfriend on here or something just to test it out.
Oh, that's awesome. Women are the best prank callers because men never want to hang up on a woman.
Yeah.
Really? They seriously are. Like, kids and women have the easiest time with prank calls because men never want to hang up on a woman. And adults are usually concerned about a kid, so they don't want to hang up too quick, you know? But it was great talking to you. Have fun however you can in North Dakota.
I'll try.
North Dakota's got to probably be as shitty as where I live, like in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Do you have, like, a city? Like, how big is the nearest city? Are you near Fargo?
Yeah, I'm in Fargo. It's like, I don't know, around 200,000, something
Fargo
like
is
that.
a pretty big city, so at least you're not out in the boondocks of North Dakota.
My girlfriend is in Monroe, though, so Connecticut.
Your girlfriend lives in Connecticut, and you're in... Oh, God, that sucks.
Yeah. She was going to move out to Fargo, but now to Vegas, and now I live here, so now she's going to move here, so...
Was she with you in Vegas?
Yeah, she comes out and visits once in a while. So I get laid at least.
Is this someone that you met on the line, like an online girlfriend?
Yeah. No, but I've met her a few times. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Banged her a few times.
Well, you're lucky she's not listening. Women don't like you talking about banging them.
Yeah.
Even though her and her friends probably talk about banging you all the time.
Yeah, probably.
You ever listen to women talk about sex when they don't know there's a man around? Women are vulgar, filthy, worse than men.
Oh yeah, I've overheard my mom and her friends when they've been drinking up in the kitchen. It's fucking funny to listen to.
Women are fucking vulgar creatures. Like, I talk about sex with men, and men are a little reserved, you know?
Yeah.
Or at least the men that I know are a little reserved talking about sex. But women are just like, oh, his cock was so big, he stretched me so bad, I had trouble walking for 2 days. Well, it was good talking to you, Brandon, and hopefully maybe you can get together with me and help me test a conference during the week.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, I'll probably be home still unless I get a call back from Target. So.
Okay, awesome. Well, if they don't call you back, we'll call them and we'll have some fun.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right, man.
Peace out, my nigga.
Later.
Bye-bye. Okay, so that's another first. We have, like, new firsts, like, every week recently. Last week, the first was that I tested soundboards for the first time. And now this week, I tested accepting a Skype call. Pardon me for sounding so behind the times, but I'm old. And like I said, I'm afraid Skype is going to steal my pills. Hello, Albert.
Oh.
Have you got your salt ready?
Pardon?
I'm sorry, Albert. I think I spoke to your wife earlier this afternoon. I told her that we were going to be coming around to collect salt to try to stockpile in time for next year, so we don't have a shortfall like we did this past year. And she was offering to donate 8 ounces of salt, and we're sending the fire brigade round door to door to collect salt from everyone. Wonderful thing, people getting together to help one another. Beautiful thing. Sorry to call so early, but this is the only time the fire brigade was available to help. So have you got your salt ready?
No.
No? Well,
no.
If you could have it ready, because the trucks ought to be through there on Balmoral within 10 to 15 minutes.
Right.
All right. So you're ready?
Right.
Okay. Okay, we'll see you then.
Right.
All right.
Salt.
He said something about salt. I called him earlier. That was like a recall, but he sounded like I'd never spoken to him before. Like he thought it was all a dream or something. Okay, next person on the list is Howard Weaver. I was waiting for that guy to yell at me because that was a callback. I'm sort of disappointed. I like being yelled at. That bird was brought to us by Diet Coke with lime. Lime flavor.
Hello.
Hello, Howie. How are you doing, dear? This is... What? How dare you, sir? This is... I fucked up because I didn't do my accent at first, but I'm going to call him right back. Like all angry. And he told me to fuck off. Sometimes it's fun just to do like a one-off call just to piss them off, and then, oh man, he took his phone off the hook. It's busy. Okay, well never mind. Let's go on to May Weaver. He took his phone off the hook. That's fucking funny. Angry little British man. May Weaver from Manchester. Apparently we're hitting up a different spot of town here. I'm not sure if they're all on the same street or not. Probably not. It's very early now. At this point, this is like just after waking calls.
Hello?
Hello, May. How you doing, love?
Sorry?
May, Mrs. Weaver.
Yes?
This is Mr. Rosenthal with the Manchester Town Council. How are you doing, dear?
All right, thank you.
I'm sorry to call you so early, but we're working with the fire brigade to gather salt for the coming winter, so we don't have a shortfall like last time. We need to be able to salt the walkways and the roads, and we want to stockpile some just in case we have another bad winter.
Right.
So we're asking you and all your neighbours to donate some salt, and we're sending the fire brigade round to gather it, and we'll bring it back to the warehouse and save it for winter.
Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
We're asking you to donate some salt, dear, that's all.
Sorry, you want me to donate what?
Salt.
Salt?
Regular table salt will do.
Right.
Right. We have salt in the town budget, as we did last year, but as you know, we didn't have nearly enough, and we ran out.
Right.
So we don't want that to happen again. Lots of people were injured, and some were killed on the icy roads, so we don't want a repeat of last year. We need to be ready.
Right.
And so we're asking people to make small donations, because everyone, I'm so proud the way everyone is gathering together and banding together to help one another.
I've never heard anything like it. And I don't know why you're ringing people at this time in the morning.
I'm sorry to call so early, dear, but like
I know.
said, the fire...
It's ridiculous. You're not going to get many people answering the phone at this time in the morning. Have you rung earlier on? Sorry. Have you rung earlier on this morning? Hello?
No. This is the first time I've spoken to you.
Right, well, I did have a call about 6 o'clock this morning. It just went off when I picked the phone up. It wasn't you then. No.
I'm sorry about that, dear, But,
right.
Can we count on you to donate us some salt?
What? When are you going to pick it up?
We have the truck. The fire brigade in the fire truck. They've graciously donated their time to go around and gather the salt. And they'll be through Ascot within the next half hour, maybe?
Oh, no, you can't be coming to people's houses at that time in the morning.
It's not so early. Everyone's waking up, dear. It's after 6. You'd be surprised how many people are banding together to help one another. Ooh! She seemed so nice until then. She seemed totally down with the brown right there. For a little while, at least. Okay, next person. In case you're wondering, the reason why I'm calling asking people for salt is that they had an inordinately snowy winter in the UK last year, probably due to global climate change. I won't call it global warming because we're talking snow here, but global warming isn't just global warming. It is global climate change. Places that never used to get snow now do, and places that used to get a little bit of snow now get a lot, and places that used to be a little bit hot are now sweltering, and, that's global climate change. So this past winter in the UK, they ran out of salt. They had their stockpile of salt that they used to salt the roads and the sidewalks and shit, but they ran out. So that's where I come in, to ask private citizens for donations of salt. They ought to hire me. I've actually done a half a decent job of getting people to donate salt. I really could work for the Manchester Town Council. Get people to donate their salt. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, this is Graham, then. Mr. Todd, I'm sorry to call you so early. This is Mr. Rosenthal with the Greater Manchester Town Council. How are you doing, dear?
Go on.
I'm calling because we're calling everyone in Manchester, all your neighbours, and asking for donations of salt early on, because we need to build a stockpile for the coming winter, so that we never again have a repeat of the catastrophe we had earlier last year. You remember we ran out of salt and the roads were all icy and lots of people got hurt and injured.
Yes, go on.
So we never want this to happen again. And an easy way to do it is through private citizens such as yourself and myself donating salt we have lying around our homes. We only have a little bit, but when we put it together, it's quite a lot. You understand?
Yeah.
So we've enlisted the help of the fire brigade to go around and gather the salt so that we can bring it back to the warehouse and save it for next winter.
Yeah.
So how much can we count on you for?
None.
You must have a tin of salt somewhere.
No, okay. Anyhow, joke's over. I'm going back to sleep now. Thank you.
Well, okay, if that's how you want to be, we're going to make a note of it, and we're not going to salt the sidewalk in front of your place there. So be careful when you're outside. You don't slip and bust your head open or something on the slippery walkway.
Okay.
Apparently, rather than donate 49 cents worth of salt, he'd rather go outside and bust his head open on the sidewalk. Okay, that's wonderful. Even as angry as these people get, they still remain mostly so polite. Mostly. Let me go back to the chat room and see if anybody's saying anything, because I've been doing like non-stop pranks for a little while here, so let me see if people are saying anything.
Hello?
Hello, is this Mary? Hello, are you the lady with the garbage everywhere? Mary, I know it's you. You know what we call you about town? We call you the garbage lady, because you're the one whose bins are overflowing and going into everyone else's yard. The wind blows it away, the stench goes everywhere. Mary, what are we going to do about this? I'm calling you first before contacting the authorities to give you a chance to make your case. Maybe you're infirm and ill and you can't put the garbage back in the bin when it comes out or falls over or whatever. Marry, marry the garbage lady. That's what the children say in town. They have songs about you. You're almost sort of legendary. There are websites devoted to you. Pictures of your garbage all over. Garbage-strewn lawn and walkway. Mary, Mary the garbage lady strews her garbage everywhere. Mary, Mary the garbage lady, she doesn't give an ass hair of a care. Hello. Mary, if you like, I can come round and help you pick up the garbage. Just throw a couple of pence my way. Maybe... Hello? Maybe cook me a nice meal? MacGruber! Calling up Mary, whose garbage is everywhere! MacGruber! MacGruber! Making life-saving devices from household materials! MacGruber! You never know.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Todd. Graham, is that you?
First of all, can you give me your telephone number and ring you from, please?
Absolutely. It's 1. You have a pen?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
1-866-799
Yeah.
0629.
What?
It's my cell phone number, dear.
What?
Right.
Look. Why are you calling me?
Well, no need to be angry, dear. I was just calling to inquire if your old lady is still doing that hoeing.
It's still doing what?
The hoeing, dear. You know, pimping and hoeing.
Give me your telephone and I'll call you back.
I just did, dear. Would you like to call me back?
Yes.
Okay, well, then I'll talk to you momentarily.
Hang on. Hold on.
What?
Give me your telephone number.
I just did, dear. You wrote it down. I asked
No,
you
I
to have a
didn't.
pen.
I didn't get a chance to write it down. What's your telephone
Okay, now
number?
you have a pen?
Yes.
You were lying before. I asked if you
No, I
had a
wasn't. Just give me your number, please.
860
860
799
799
0629. Now that is my cell phone, so if you ever need to get hold of me, that's how you get hold of me, anywhere I am. My phone
This is a police recording.
What? Mrs. Todd?
This is a police recording.
This doesn't sound like the police, it sounds like a little old
This
lady.
is a police recording.
Mrs. Todd, are you still doing that
This
going?
is a police recording.
Alright.
This is a police recording.
Okay, so what? Would
This
you like
is
me to
a
sing a
police
song?
recording.
You're recording, okay, so
This is a police
let me sing a song
recording.
for you.
This is a police
Well, you're going to have to be
recording.
quiet, dear, if I'm to sing.
This is a police
You're going to ruin the recording,
recording.
dear. With all your talking,
This
you're ruining
is
the
a
recording.
police recording.
Ah, my leather
This is a
tight,
police
my hair in
recording.
place. Have
This
I
is a
got
police
cute expression on my
recording.
faces? My shoes
This
all
is a
shine.
police
I'll try to keep it
recording.
right while I'm dancing in the show tonight. Does my shuffle stare really look so good? Am I doing it the way you think I should? Would it be a miss if I blew a kiss while I'm dancing in the show tonight? See, now you spoke over me and we don't have a proper recording of that. But I could do it again if you like. Would you like? Do we need a take 2?
No. We just don't want any more telephone calls to this house, please.
Well, you're going to give me a call back, Graham.
No, I'm not calling you back.
Well, I gave you my number so you could call me back. Well,
I don't want
otherwise,
to call.
what's the point?
These calls are harassment. If we get any more calls, we are going to go to the police.
I'm not harassing you, dear. I sang you a lovely song, and all you had to do is hang up, so how is that harassment? I called you once. All you had to do is hang up.
This is the third call now. Please stop calling us.
You must be retarded. Okay, that is thus far my favorite call of the night. This is a police recording. I think my favorite line in there is going to end up being, she says, this is a police recording. I said, no, it's not. It sounds like an old lady. Brandon Vegas says, that sounds like something from the end of a Pink Floyd record. Yeah, right, like at the end of a song on Dark Side of the Moon, you just hear, this is a police recording. Marmalade, I like marmalade. This is a police recording. This is a police recording.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Todd. Are you ready with your salt?
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Todd. Are you ready with your salt? What's going on?
Yes?
Are you alright?
Yes?
I hear some rustling as though there's like a fight going on, or a brawl. You okay? What's going on?
Who's speaking?
Hello, this is Mr. Rosenthal here with the Greater Manchester Town Council. How are you doing, love? Good morning.
I'd like to know who's speaking.
I just told you, dear. It's Ed Rosenthal from the Greater Manchester Town Council. How are you doing, dear? Did you vote for me? For Town Council? Well, that's neither here nor there. Mrs. Todd, is that you?
Yes.
You awake, dear? Listen, we're having Sunday tea this morning at 8, and we'd like to invite you down. And while you're here, we're going to hit you up for a donation of salt.
Why hasn't it to be sorcery in the morning to ring people?
What time? What time?
Why did you have to ring at 6 o'clock in the morning?
Well, most folks are up by now, dear.
Yeah, well, I'm not up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to wake you. I've woken you? Oh, dear me. My faux pas. I'm sorry. So does that mean we shan't expect you for tea? We're down here at the Fire Brigade, and hosting like a sort of like a breakfast thing here, with like all sorts of pastries, in different assorted teas from all over the world. We wanted to invite and make sure everyone was aware and could come down, and while they're here, we'll hit them up for donations of salt. Do you remember last winter we ran out of salt for the roadways? It sounds maybe as though you're doing unclean things with the phone, dear. I hope you're not rubbing it on yourself at the sound of my voice or something. But if you are, I suppose I can help. You need like a vibrato? I can go. Now you rub it on yourself and feel the vibration.
Are you alright?
I'm wonderful, dear. I'm sort of worried about you. It sounds like you're having a difficult time.
You don't need to worry about me.
Shall I call you an ambulance? You don't sound well.
I think you want an ambulance. I don't know about me.
Masturbating with the telephone at 6 in the morning? Who does this? Well, it's nearly 7 now. It's nearly 7 now. What are you still doing in bed? Get your ass up. Lazy bitch. Mrs. Todd? Oh, I'm back down between your legs again, am I? Okay, I'll give you another vibrato, if that's what you're looking for. Pardon me while I clear my throat. Is that doing it for you, dear? I hear some kind of hum in the background. Oh, you've got other toys involved. Okay. Wonderful. So you're listening to me whilst using other toys. Okay, that works. Would you like me to talk sexy? I'm wearing my dressing gown and slippers. What are you wearing, dear? Hello? Oh, she didn't want to talk no more. She was busy rubbing the phone on her twat, as they would say in the UK, on her twat. As we say in the US, twat! I like the word twat because it sounds like twat sounds so much dirtier and more unpleasant than twat. Twat sounds almost pleasant, but twat sounds like dirty and vile, which twat is, really, isn't it? Next person on the list is Gerard Higgins.
Patsy Stan?
Hello, is this Gerard?
Yes.
I'm wondering why I was going through some of my wife's things whilst she was sleeping, and I noticed in her pocket she has this phone number. It says Gerard. I don't know your last name, but it has this number, and it says Gerard. And I'm wondering, how do you know my wife, and why does she have your number in her pocket? It's written on a matchbook.
Who is it speaking, please?
My name is Ed Rosenthal, but apparently you know my wife. Her name is Jill. J-I-L.
I can't recollect anybody called Jill.
I can tell that this is not her handwriting, so someone else wrote the number and gave it to her. So what dealings do you have with my wife?
I don't really. Just a minute, I'll put my wife on.
No. It's not time for that yet.
Hello, can I help you?
Hello?
Can I help you?
I was just speaking with Gerard. Because
you were speaking what?
I was speaking with Gerard. Apparently he's your husband?
You're speaking to my husband, yes.
Right. Because I found a matchbook in my wife's pocket, written in somebody else's handwriting. It says Gerard, and it had this phone number. So I'm calling, and I was wondering how Gerard knows my wife. What kind of line of work is he in? Maybe he knows her through work, or... You know, I'm hoping for the best. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking infidelity. But I'm hoping for the best.
Well, tell me what name was in it.
All it said is Gerard. It doesn't have a last name, but it has this number.
No, you're mistaken.
No,
my husband.
It says Gerard with 2 R's.
My husband.
Am I right? Gerard with 2 R's, 3 R's.
No, it's G-E.
R-I-A-R-D.
A-R-D.
Right.
He's excuse me. He's called Jared, and he is 80 years of age.
Well, my wife is 87 years young, as am I. We've been together for nigh on 70 years.
Well, it couldn't possibly be my husband because I'm 80 and he's 87.
So he's the same age as my wife. So he's retired.
Yes.
So he doesn't have any line of work.
No.
I haven't spoken with my wife about this yet because I was hoping to get a little more info before I confronted her with it. But between you and I, it's looking...
Whereabouts are you speaking from?
I live right here in Manchester, and not too far from you, as a matter of fact. I live on Ashton, but further up. You live at 1446. I know because I looked the number up on the line, and I got the address. And I live a little further up the road. I'm not going to say where. Apparently, Gerard already knows where, since he's giving my wife his name and number. That after 70 years, she's stepping out on me.
Oh, I've never heard. I don't know what you're talking about. And my husband certainly doesn't. You've wakened us both up. We were both in bed.
I'm sorry to wake you, but I'm very upset. I was going through my wife's things whilst she slept, and I found this number in this name, and... Why would she have this number if not infidelity?
I haven't a clue.
Maybe we all should get together and hammer this out.
No, I mean, as far as I'm concerned...
Maybe you and I and Jared and my wife get together and we
No,
talk
I think
about this as adults.
But no, I think it's most ridiculous, and I just... The only thing I could suggest is that, you see, unless she's been looking in the telephone directory...
But
I mean,
he's
how do you-
retired. He doesn't have any business.
No, he doesn't go out. We go to church.
And you're not at all concerned that your husband gave my wife his phone number?
He didn't.
That doesn't give
No,
you pause at all?
Pardon?
That doesn't give you pause at all? Like, why would your husband... How does he know my wife, and why is he giving
I'm
her...
sorry, but I think it's so... I think it's just a huge mistake, or she could,
Well,
you know,
if
I
you
mean,
like, I can bring the matchbook round, and you'll know if it's his handwriting.
Pardon?
I can, if you like, I can come down there, and I'll show you the matchbook, and you can see, I bet you, it's Jared's handwriting.
I mean, you know, I really don't know. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. I mean, my husband visits, you know, the only thing my husband does, he visits the sick. He's somebody who goes around from church. He visits the sick, you know, and the infirm.
My wife is very sick. She has the throat cancer.
She has throat cancer.
She has the throat cancer, so maybe that's how he knows her.
Oh, I don't know. I've never, you know, I just don't know what you're talking about. And
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring it up to my
just a
wife.
minute. Just let me speak to Jared. Just
Okay.
a minute.
Go ahead.
What did you say, Jared? Are you in? I asked his wife. Oh.
My husband's just said, have you tried asking your wife?
Right. Well, like I said, I was trying to get some more info before I confronted her, but now I'm going to confront her, and I'll see what she has to say about it.
I should do. You know, I mean, because I've never heard anything so daft in all my life.
Well, I'm sorry to bother you, but whilst I have you on the line, have you got any salt?
Pardon?
Salt. You know, regular table salt. You know,
What
for
for?
fish and chips and such.
Look, I think you're having me on.
I'm not having you on.
I
I'm the
mean,
one who's
listen,
been had on.
that somebody could come on the phone at this time.
Are
in
you
the morning.
swingers?
Pardon?
You and Jared, are you swingers? Swinging with my wife behind my back?
Oh,
Because
come
you
on,
needn't
Pete.
hide. I'd be down. I'd totally be down for a four-way. I'm not so old and naive.
I think you're a bit crackers. I don't know. I've never heard of anything so silly in all my life.
You sound quite sexy for a woman of your age.
Pardon?
You sound quite sexy for a woman of your age, and I'm quite attractive for a man of mine.
Oh, come off it.
Maybe you and I and
I've
Jared
had
and my
enough.
wife, we get together, we play Bob and Carol and Karen Alice. Oh, she didn't want to have a four-way. I'm like off, as the blacks would say, I'm off the hook tonight.
Hello?
I do.
Hello?
How are you doing, dear?
What do you want?
Well, I was calling, hoping for a little sexy talk.
No?
I'm quite taken aback with your voice, dear. If you just speak several words whilst I rub myself, I'll be okay.
I don't want...
That was a call to Estonia. Where the fuck is Estonia? I don't even know. Is Estonia a country, or is that like a province in the country? Pardon my ignorance, but where the fuck is Estonia? Hello, Bonnie.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Collet. How are you doing, dear?
Good.
I spoke with Bonnie earlier. She said to call back later this morning. So it's later this morning, and I'm calling back. How are you doing, dear?
Good.
What are you doing later this afternoon? I was calling to invite you to come to church with my wife and I.
You know what? I'm not sure. This is Bonnie's son-in-law again.
Oh, I spoke to you earlier. I'm very old and confused. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I think perhaps maybe I dialed the wrong number. So, what church do you guys go to here in Norwalk?
We don't currently.
Oh, you're living in a godless way. Well, have you ever opened your heart to the word of the Lord?
Yes, of course.
Well, if you're ever willing, you have my number on your caller ID there. You can give us a call back, and you're more than welcome to accompany my wife and I.
All right.
We see ourselves as sort of missionaries trying to save lost souls in these end times. Right?
Okay.
Okay, peace out.
All right.
Okay, that was okay. Apparently, I can call U.S. and U.K., but apparently it doesn't include like Norway and Australia. I could have sworn the package that I ordered said it was good anywhere in the world, but there you go. I don't have Skype credit to call to Sweden or. Well, you learn something new every week. But that first call to Sweden went through. The first call to Estonia went through. Why would one call go through and then none of the others? Whatever. So that means all the other numbers I have are no good. So I may as well close them out. If anybody has any U.S. or U.K. wake-up numbers or Canada, I think Canada works, numbers, then you can send them to me and I'll give them a dial real quick before I get out of here and like go play video games or whatnot and so forth. I still feel like it's early because I went on so late. I went on like 2 hours and 15 minutes late. So I've been on for less than 2 hours and I feel like it's like still just after midnight, but really it's like after 2 already. I closed out all numbers because the apparently Estonia is north of Lithuania. So there you go. That's where that was trying to call, and it didn't work. But if anybody has any more numbers, let's try UK, US, Canada. Let's keep it like let's keep it to like the top 10 countries. Maybe that's all Skype works for, is like top 10 countries. It doesn't work for like little middle of nowhere bunghole countries. Maybe I have the bunghole plan where you can't call bunghole countries like that, but anyway. Aw, that's very cute. I just looked over and there was a cat across the room. He's like stretched out on the carpet, and I looked at him and he saw I was looking at him, and he, without even getting up, like still laying on his side, he just pulled himself on the carpet like towards me. That was very cute. Too lazy to get up, but he's pulling himself over like a cripple or something. Hello. If you get close, the people will hear you. Julian? Julian? Well, never mind. He's being quiet. Anyway, I think I'm going to go look in the fridge and see what I have to eat, because I'm fucking starving. If I weren't on the air, I probably would have just gone to bed without eating, but I'm going to be kept up all night with, like, I'm to the point where, like, my stomach is in pain, because all I've eaten today was a bowl of Raisin Bran, because I was planning on going to the reception for my niece's communion and having a good, like, 3-course gourmet meal. So I didn't eat before and didn't eat afterwards, but I need to go find some food, otherwise I'm never going to be able to fall asleep tonight. So I'm going to go put something on to cook, come back and do some prank calls, as long as you guys get some numbers coming in, because I'm tapped out of numbers. I have 0 numbers left, so if when I come back I have no numbers, then I guess we'll call it a show. I did a lot of prank calls in the 2 hours that I've been on, I came on late. I thank you guys for holding in there. It's been a long, long time since I put the show on hold to go get laid. That happened, years ago. It used to happen when Keith and I used to go off and fuck, but hasn't happened in quite a while. So you'll have to forgive me, but I'm sure you can agree. Getting laid is far more important than doing internet radio, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is the UK number. It's working fine. Apparently the package I bought.
Hello?
Hello, Terry. Is that you?
Yeah?
How are you doing, dear?
Who is it?
My name is Ed Rosenthal from the Woodford Green Gardens.
I think you got the wrong number, mate.
No, this is Terry Crook, right?
Yeah.
Right. You're the one who's with that fat lady, the fat girl. The large one.
No.
No, that's not you? Oh, you're single. Are you single?
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going with this. To be honest with you, I didn't think you'd answer. I've thought about calling you for a long time, Terry, and I just recently, earlier tonight, I've been drinking, and I'm up late, and I said, you know what? You never know what happens until you try. So I decided I would try and call you and tell you, Terry, I've admired you from afar for quite a while. Very embarrassing for me to say so. It took getting up a lot of nerve for me to be able to even make this call, and quite a bit of liquor as well. Okay, well, apparently Terry Crook is not gay, but I really didn't expect that call to go through because I was testing a UK line. Apparently the package that I bought through Skype is good only for certain countries. I did not realize that. I thought it was like a worldwide thing and it worked everywhere. But, okay, now we know that Estonia, probably Lithuania, and Norway and Australia are off limits. Those numbers won't work. And Lonesome Loser does have more numbers coming in, but they were only just now confirmed, like mere minutes ago. So I probably have to stall for a little while before I call them. And that's the only number I have is like Douglas Bond. Douglas Bond. Yeah. So let me think. Are there any funny stories that I can tell that will waste up some time? None that I care to tell. Well, the funniest story I would have to tell would be about the story about tonight. I went on the air because I had set a date for a hookup at 9:30 and I hadn't gotten a call, so I figured I was getting blown off. So I said, fuck it, I'll go on the air and do the show, and then I got the call, and then I had to blow off the show for 2 hours to get laid, and there you go. The rest is history, right? Yeah. Well, I had a good time. I hope you guys did too. Probably not as good a time as me, because as far as I know, I was the only one in the room getting laid for 2 hours. Let me see if anybody's blinking here. No, nobody's blinking. It's very late. I'm normally not on this late. Oh, if I am, I'm usually like sitting up but passed out asleep in my chair. But tonight I'm like awake and sober, and here I am, like waiting to do prank calls, stalling for time. How about your job? No, I don't have a job in the world, as Peter Griffin would say. I don't have a job in the world. No, I do not have a new job yet. Haven't even applied for anything, but I will. You know, I've considered just wearing one of those baseball cap cameras to work and just seeing how far I can push my employers to see what it takes to get them to fire me. Like, see how much I can get away with before I get fired. You know, just as a goof. But those baseball cap cameras suck because all they have is like a transmitter to a remote receiver. And the remote receiver has to be in the immediate vicinity. So I'd have to have like some kind of... well, the hat has a battery pack that's small enough to hide, but it doesn't have any kind of recording device attached. What it does is it transmits to an off-site place. Preferably there would be like a van parked nearby that would have like the recording equipment where what's being transmitted from the hat is recorded, right? But I don't have that kind of setup, and I don't think I'm willing to spend that kind of money. If I had like a gig for a TV show, I'd totally do it, but I don't, so I won't. It would be cool, though, to wear like hidden cameras and just fuck with employers to see exactly how much and what I could get away with, what kind of stupid dipshittery I could do before they end up firing me. That'd be funny. Because right now I do that kind of thing and like push people to see what I can get away with, but there are no hidden cameras, so it's only for my benefit. I'm the only one who gets to enjoy it. So yeah. And now, come to think of it, I have a trunk full of gifts because I had bought gifts for my niece because it was her communion today, but it's also Mother's Day, so I have a Mother's Day gift for my sister. And it was also my sister's birthday today, so there's a birthday gift for my sister. There's like 2 gifts for my sister and 1 for my niece in there. And I even bought a gift for my other niece so that she wouldn't feel left out, because I felt it wouldn't be right to give one niece a gift because it's her communion and not give anything to the other one because they get jealous and fight. So there's like 4 gifts in my trunk now. I'll end up giving my sister, like next time I see my sister or my nieces, I'll end up giving it to them. So I'll have to invent a holiday. I'll come up with like a name for like a fake holiday next time I see them, just so I can give them these gifts. Because I tried to get there, and to be honest with you, I can't remember the last time I got lost off of MapQuest. I remember going to Zolar's house. It was a little confusing, but I figured it out and I got there. But this is the only time I've ever gotten MapQuest directions that just didn't work. It said, get off the highway, headed towards this place. And then I take the exit. And then you either have to make a left or a right. And the directions don't say make a left or right. It just says, head towards such and such a place. I'm like, well, how do I know where such and such a place is? Because there's no street sign saying, such and such a place 5 miles this way. I'm like, well, I got lost. I didn't really get lost. I knew the area. I knew where I was, and I was able to find my way out of there and get back home relatively quickly, but couldn't find the church. And I blame my sister because the address that she gave for the church in the invitation was wrong. Not that it would have helped, because the address that she gave was 14, and the address that I looked up was 10. The only nearby address I could find on the same street was 10, but still, they would have been adjacent to each other, like right down the road from each other. So the directions still probably would have been fucked up, but yeah, there you go. I blame MapQuest. I'm sure my sister just thinks I blew her off and was giving her a go fuck yourself attitude, but you know what? I don't give a shit. You can kiss my big black ass for all I care. Anyway, I have 2 more numbers here, so let me do these 2 and get the fuck out of here. Go play some video games. I downloaded some new video games through the PlayStation Store today, so it's something for me to look forward to when I get off the air here. I love the PlayStation Store because I can just transfer money from my bank account to my PlayStation account and go buy some games and play them like almost immediately after the download is done. And the other number I have was confirmed even sooner than that. Confirmed only about 8 minutes ago, so I doubt that one's going to work either, but I'll give it a try. That one's in Belfast, Ireland. We're testing to see if calls to Ireland work with my Skype plan. Next time I buy a Skype plan, I'll have to make sure that they'll allow me to practice Lithuania and Estonia, even Centralia. If Ireland works.
Hello?
Hello, Ellen. Is that you, dear?
I think you've got the wrong address.
Ellen Matthews.
No, afraid not.
Oh, I've got the wrong number.
You have.
Is this Mrs. Love?
It is, yes.
Mrs. Stewart Love.
Pardon?
Mrs. Love, I'm sorry to call you so late. But let me tell you the reason why I'm calling. We have reason to believe that you're the one who's been polluting the neighborhood by allowing your garbage to flow everywhere, out of the bin and all over, and the dogs drag it around.
I think you've got the wrong number. Goodbye.
No, you're the lady with the dirty lawn and garbage.
Hello.
Hello, Ellen, is that you, love?
Pardon?
Ellen Matthews.
Yes.
By crikey, it's been so long since I've spoken to you. How have you been, dear?
I don't know who this is.
This is Ed Rosenthal. How can you not remember?
No.
I was around your place last week to ask you about picking up the garbage around your place. And I was down there earlier today, and I noticed that nothing has been done. You never did pick up the garbage.
Oh, I think you've got the wrong number.
No, this is Ellen, with the lady with the garbage everywhere.
No, that's not me. Sorry.
Wait,
okay.
you live at 30 Brookvale? Hello? You live at 30 Brookvale Street? Oh. Well, the important part is that we know that Ireland works. But let me close that out. Nobody send any more numbers in because I'm going to end the program, I guess. I'm going to turn on the flat screen and turn on the PS3 again so it's ready when I go to it. Maybe I'll hang out in the chat room for a little while and talk amongst the listeners whilst I play my game, or in between playing my game. But for now, once again, I apologize for putting the show on hold for 2 hours so that I could go get laid. It was very selfish of me, but to be honest with you, I think if there was anybody else out there that were in my place, you'd be retarded not to have done the same damn thing. So I'm not going to knock myself too bad for it. But nonetheless, thank you for listening. I will be back next week, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on Fart Steam and KDK Prank Radio and whatever you want to call it, PCRadio.com, whatever. All of those links will bring you to the same goddamn place. And I'll be here next week. Hopefully you will be too. Maybe I'll even start on time next time. Yeah, because you're very lucky. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Especially thank you for staying up so late just to listen to my stupid ass. Tune in again next time. Stay just the way you are. Just the way I like you. Stay beautiful.
This whole experience was absolutely exhausting. You are absolutely the most insufferable group of jackasses I have ever had the misfortune of spending an extended period of time with. I hope you all die.
Just remember that you're standing on a planet that's evolving and revolving at 900 miles an hour. That's orbiting at 90 miles a second, so it's reckoned a sun that is the source of all our power. The sun and you and me and all the stars that we can see are moving at 1,000,000 miles a day in an outer spiral arm at 40,000 miles an hour of the galaxy we call the Milky Way. Our galaxy itself contains 100 billion stars. It's 100,000 light years side to side. It bulges in the middle, 16,000 light years thick, but out by us it's just 3,000 light years wide. We're 30,000 light years from galactic central point. We go round every 200 million years. And our galaxy is only one of millions of billions in this amazing and expanding universe. Keeps on expanding and expanding in all of the directions it can whiz. As fast as it can go, the speed of light, you know, 12 million miles a minute, and that's the fastest speed there is. So remember when you're feeling very small and insecure, how amazingly unlikely is your birth. and pray that there's intelligent life somewhere up in space, 'cause there's bugger all down here on Earth.
Wow, that was the worst piece of crap I've ever seen.
Oh my God, that was an abomination. That was
awful. My ass is actually sore. My ass is actually sore.
Well, goodbye. And don't think it hasn't been a little slice of heaven, 'cause it hasn't.